Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm gonna do my second part of my September book haul. So the books finally arrived that I mailed myself from Vermont. That was my plan, that when I went to the Brattle in Boston, as well I went to Northshire Bookstore in Manchester, Vermont, that if I bought a lot of books, I would ship them home. Now, what's really funny is that my dad and I are the book buyers of the family. My mom buys a lot of books too, but she buys differently, I guess. Not as much, and also she reads a lot on her iPad, so she buys a lot of Kindle stuff. So, but my dad and I are definitely the physical book buyers of the family, and he bought almost twice as much as I did, so I feel pretty good. But it was my plan to ship them home, and it was worth it. I mean, it's cost us more. We didn't pay a whole lot for the books, but it cost us almost more to ship them, but they weren't in our luggage and we didn't have to lug them around, and it worked out. And it was great because we split the cost, kind of thing. So, but still, he bought more than I did. And you think I buy a lot. No, he's we won't go into that. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through the books that I bought on vacation, as well as the books that were waiting for me when I got home. I kept getting text messages from my brother saying another book showed up. It was kind of funny. Anyway, so we'll go through the books that I bought on my vacation first. So the first ones I'm going to talk about are the ones I got at the Brattle in Boston. That was really cool to be able to actually go there. I mean, again, we've heard all Steve Donahue talk about it forever, and it was really cool to finally go there and see all the carts and all the stuff in the sale. It was really neat to go through that. As I said, I bought 5 books. My dad bought, I think he bought 10, and then he bought 2 in the store as well. So see how he spent more than I did. But my books were all $1 and $3 books. I didn't buy any $5 ones. He bought a couple $5 ones. So it was really kind of cool because, again, the carts were they have their prices and stuff. It was, I mean, it was, as I said, there was a lot of weird stuff there, and a lot of stuff that was like, there was a couple of copies of certain things because obviously they were getting rid of stuff, and then there'd be a gem and I'd be like, yay! So I just got a couple of things that I've heard about on other people's channels, and again, that's the whole thing about used bookstores. So the first one I picked up was The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov, I think is how it's said. Again, this is a Russian novel that was I don't know if it was banned or it wasn't published there and it got transferred over here later after. It's translated by Diana Bergen and Catherine Tieran O'Connor. I've heard a lot of good and bad things about this. Like, really, this is a really weird novel, and this is one I've been wanting to buy for at least probably almost 2 years. I started seeing one of the copies. I think it was one of the 50th anniversary edition or something. And I almost bought it like 3 or 4 times at Powell's bookstore, but I just never did. I just always put it off because I hadn't heard a whole lot about it. It has something to do with the devil and in the guise of a cat or something. I don't know. You know, like, I don't know enough about this. I just know this is like a weird Russian one I want to try. And I got it for, I think I got it for $3. So it was a good copy. It's not super damaged or anything. So I thought that was a good deal. I also got I, Claudius by Robert Graves. I don't remember where I heard about this, but it's like it's supposed to be the autobiography of Tiberius Claudius. And again, I've heard about this. I just don't know a whole lot about it. I just know it's written kind of like as it was, I think, his biography. And there's a cool little card in here. I don't know what this is. From Nassau Hall, Princeton University. It was just in the book. That doesn't usually happen. I don't usually pick them. Anyway, so this was on my list of books I wanted to buy used. So I heard about it from somebody. It could have even been Steve Donahue. I don't remember. It was just on my list. Now this one I do know I heard on Steve Donahue's just recently when he was going through one of his history bookshelves, going through stuff. And he had I Bear Witness by Victor, I don't even know, Klemperer? I don't know how you say that, guys. Again, another $3 one. This is the Diary of the Nazi Years, 1933 to 1941. So I think there's like 3 volumes or something, but this is the one I wanted to read, which was from 33 to 41, which I think is when all the Nazi stuff and how things start changing for everybody. So it's like a diary entries for this guy. I hear it's really powerful, and I really wanted to read that history-wise. So it could even end up on my nonfiction November this year. We'll see. And then a couple of, so those are all, I got $3. These are my $1 ones. I got the, I don't even know how you say it. The one by Virgil. Anyway, I can't think. Enid or something? I don't remember. This is one of the classic stuff that I have not read. And again, it's like in verse and stuff. But I think I remember, again, another Steve Donahue thing. Rattle, Steve Donahue. Anyway, I think he talked about doing a read along with this next year. So again, it was $1. And again, it's one of the classics that I did not read in my classes that I remember. So I thought, it's $1. I'll take it. And then I picked up another Thomas Hardy, the mayor of Castro Bridge. And again, I keep picking these books up and I've yet to try them. So again, this month I'm going to get to one of his books, hopefully Far From the Maddening Crowd. But this is the one that I hear is like a lot of people talk about that they liked. I think it has to do with the man kind of down on his luck. And I think he does something stupid like try to sell his wife and child. I'm not really sure. But, and then I think it's I don't know if it's a redemption story or something. I don't know. I have not a clue, actually. I shouldn't have said that. But I just know, again, it's another Thomas Hardy book that I've heard about, but not read. So again, $1, and I figured, oh, what the hell. It's not too badly off. So then, again, we left Boston and we went to Vermont to meet up with some of my other family, where we rented a house in Manchester, Vermont, which was really cool. And we drove around a lot of places. But in town in Manchester is a really nice bookstore called Northshire Bookstore. And it was a really nice mostly new, and they did have used sections. And so I bought a couple of used ones that I found. There was another book that I saw. It was a one day, and then I got a phone call from my doctor just out of the blue, and it distracted me, and then I forgot about it. And when we went back the next time, because I went twice, it wasn't there. I was so mad because it was a Daphne du Maurier I didn't have, and I was like, oh, I'll try to get that one, and then yeah, I forgot. Anyway, so I'll just talk about the ones I did get. I got 4 books, 3 of them the first day, and then I went back another day and picked up another book. So the first one I picked up is The Queue by Vladimir Sorokin. This one is, I don't remember. It's translated by Sally Lard. And all I remember is I heard about this on somebody's channel, but it has it where people are in this queue for something, and they're just in line. And they talk like it's just really quick dialogue stuff, and it's going to be a really quick read, but I think it sounds really interesting. I know I talked about it on somebody's channel, and I was looking like if I saw it. So anyway, I got this one. So my most expensive book, I paid $8 for that for a used copy, but it's, you know, it's one of those New York review books, I think is what they call it. And again, it's what I want to read. I also picked up D.H. Lawrence's The Rainbow. Now, I don't know anything about this. I just, I figured out that I owned several D.H. Lawrence, and I've never read them. I think I'm still upset about a short story, The Rocking Horse Winner? Was that what it was? Anyway, read that in college, and I remember disagreeing with what my teacher explained what it's about. And I really want to reread that short story because it's always bothered me all these years later. I want to reread it and see if maybe this time I actually see what he's talking about. Anyway, but I found out that I used to have some really old D.H. Lawrence books that I bought used at some point, and I've never read them. Well, yeah, I still have them, but I haven't got rid of them yet. But I picked up The Rainbow, I don't know why. So I did. So I have it now, and I don't know anything about it. I think I read it and I thought it was kind of interesting. I think it was a man marries a woman and something about he adopts the daughter, and then something about the daughter and her journey or something. I'm not sure. I've just always wanted to read more D.H. Lawrence because I want to see if I like his novels. I don't know. That short story has haunted me. Anyway, sorry. And then I picked up kind of a random one. This is R.U.R. Rossmann's Universal Robots by Karel Capek? I don't know. Anyway, it's like super thin, but it's like the first time I think the word robot was used, and it's kind of like a play. I think it's a play. And I thought it sounded so interesting. Oh, it looks like it was translated by Claudia Novak. So I don't know a lot about this, but I think it just sounded so interesting. There's like this little teeny thing about, and again, I think it's a play. Yeah, so it's like, it's a collective drama in 3 acts with a comedic prologue. Okay. Well, I just thought it was interesting because it had to do with robots. So I picked it up. Anyway, I don't know. So I don't know when this was, 1920. I don't know. So it sounds cool, so I don't know. It was $1. I don't know. And then then I picked up kind of on the last day before we left. We went back to the bookstore because my dad didn't get to go the first time because we had some car issues with our rental car. Whole drama. Anyway, so we went back and I found this Daniel Defoe, a Journal of the Plague Year. And I have not read anything by him except for he's Robinson Crusoe, right? I can't even think right now. Anyway, I've read one book by him, but I've never read anything else. And this one just sounded interesting. It was like $3. And I think it has to do with there was a plague that swept through London that killed so many people back in the, 1665. And I think he wrote like an account of kind of what that was like, even though it was years later, I think is what it was. 60 years later, it says here that he chronicled what kind of happened and stuff. So I don't know. It just sounded interesting. I don't know anything about it really. I've never heard of it before, but my dad already wants to borrow this one. So this might have to be read in the next couple months just because he already wants to read it. And I just picked it up kind of on a whim. Anyway, so, I am really talking here a lot, guys. Sorry. So those are all the books I found on vacation. So these are all the books. These are the last 5 of the ones that came while I was gone. So one was from Book Depository. I ordered Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. And this is translated from the Japanese by Gini Tapley Tagimura. Yeah. So anyway, I've heard a lot about this. I finally picked this up after I saw Matthew Sharapa's video on it. Because it made more sense to me when he talked about it than some other people. Sounds really good. Again, I love Japanese literature. I buy a lot of it. I've read a lot of it. I've liked and disliked a lot of it. So I'm interested to see how I fall on this one. And again, it's a short one, so I'm hoping to pick it up pretty soon and see how I feel about that one. I also picked up another Persephone book, which I should be reading these, but I'm more picking them up. And this is Tory Heaven or Thunder on the Right by Margarita Lasky? I don't know. I think I saw this on, I think it was Jean's Bookish Thoughts, but I'm not positive. I know somebody read it, and it's kind of like alternative history or a futuristic, I don't know, it had something to do with kind of there's a sense, something takes someone's different in charge in the future or something. I don't remember what it was now. It's not very long, so it's like 212 pages, so it's not like a big story. I swear it has something to do with a science fiction kind of twist, but I'm not sure. If you guys remember, let me know. But I picked it up. It was on sale one day on Amazon, so I picked it up. And then the other one from Amazon I got was Soulless, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I love this by Gail Carriger, and there's just this new edition, and I have like every edition of this book. I mean, I have the paperback when it first came out. I have all her books in this series. And then Soulless, I have the manga series that came out, that they did in Japan, and then they translated it for us, so it's in English now. And then it was just this. So there's like a couple. Let's see if I can find one that's like, it has some drawings and stuff, and it's like, I did not need this. But it's cool, and I got one of the ones with her signature in it too that was signed before it's sent to me. So anyway, this was totally a splurge. I did not need this. But as I said, she's one of my favorite authors and definitely one of my favorite series of all time. Especially Soulless. Soulless is like one of my favorite books. Just, if you just take it as a standalone itself, it's still a perfect book. I love that book. I love it. Anyway, so that was kind of a spurge. And so then, I have 2 books that I bought off of, Amazon Marketplace. And, the first one was to finish out the books that I don't own by Slavanja Ilikovic. So this is, Zinky Boys, which is, I believe, the one that won the Nobel Prize for her. It's this Soviet Voices from the Afghanistan War, translated by Julia and Robin Whitby. So I've read 2 of her books so far and really enjoyed them. I have 1 more on my shelf, and now I got this one too. So now I have all 4 that I think are released. I think I'm up to it. So I'm figuring I'm gonna pick up this one next. The other one, and I also want to read that one. It's about when the Soviet Union collapsed. So this one I think is in time. I think this one comes first, so I'm gonna go back and read this one first, and then that one. But again, I love her style of nonfiction, of an oral history. She has people talk, and then she just writes down what they say. But this one looks a little different. Like, it's not formatted the same. I think it's still the same, like, oral stuff. It's just, it has a different font type and stuff because it's an older copy than the other books that I bought of hers. So we'll see. I mean, as I said, I think it's pretty much the same thing. But it says, yeah, it's between 1979 and 1989. The stories are coming from, and she talks to them afterwards. So anyway, I'm really interested to see, again, another nonfiction by her. And then I bought a book that I bought off of, as I said, off of Marketplace. I didn't pay a whole lot for it, but I was really it's the first one I'm really disappointed from Marketplace because I didn't know I was going to get a used library copy, and I could have just not. Anyway, so I'm a little disappointed. Anyway, so I got Embers of War by Garth L. Powell. I tried to read this a few months ago from the library, and I just did not have time to get to it. And I read only a few pages, and I wasn't sure, but I really wanted to try it again because I've heard on some other channels, you know, there's a name went right on my head. There was somebody who loves this book, and so I was like, and the more she talked about it, the more I wanted to read it. And her name just went out of my head. I can see her. Oh my gosh, it's gone. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, so I really want to try this again. And again, I really should be reading. I haven't read much science fiction this year, so I would really like to try to pick this one up again and read it. And I have this copy now, even though it's stupidly a library book. But oh well, it's too late now. I don't know if I'll be buying much off of that off of Marketplace as much as I liked to. Anyway, so those are all the books that I got. So yeah, I did some damage this month again on books. I didn't spend as much as I have in the last couple months, so that was good. I kind of curbed that. Might have helped that a lot of the books I bought this month were used. I don't know. Well, we'll see. But that does not to say that October I've already bought books and I have more coming. But, you know, because I love books. But I think sometime this month I'm going to try to do I'm going to go through my books. I already have a huge stack of stuff I want to get rid of. And I think I'm going to go through and get rid of a lot of stuff that I'm never going to read again, or I just don't want to read anymore, that I bought on a whim. So I think there might be a purge. So maybe that'll help. I still don't think so. I think I really just love to buy books. And the library book sales are coming up at the end of this month. And it's the really big one that's over at Multnomah County, which is, so I'm like already excited for the Friends of the Library sale, and I'm like, I get to go on that Saturday, because I don't get to go Friday because I'm not a Friends of the Library, because that's not my library. It's the other county, but I'm still gonna go to the sale. So anyway, but other than that, so I'm not saying that's the way it is. I buy books, and luckily as I said, this month was a lot cheaper than other months. So anyway, hey, if you guys read any of those books, any of these you think I should bump up on my TBR, let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.